This frame once held a Rembrandt. It has hung on this wall, empty, for more than 35 years. The museum could take it down anytime it wants. It refuses to, because the painting that belongs inside it is still out there, worth $500 million and completely gone. This is the largest art heist in history. 13 masterpieces, 81 minutes, 0 arrests, and in 36 years, no one has ever solved it. So tonight, we open the case file, and to understand what's missing, we have to go back to 24 minutes past 1 in the morning. March 18th, 1990, the night after St. Patrick's Day. Boston is loud, drunk, and distracted. Outside a small side door of the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, a car idles in the dark, and 2 men dressed as Boston police officers press the buzzer. They tell the guard they're responding to a disturbance. There is no disturbance. Inside, the only guard on watch is 23 years old. Rick Abath, a music student working the graveyard shift. The museum's rule is absolute. You do not open that door for anyone. By the FBI's account of that night, the door was opened. One officer studies his face. "You look familiar," he says. "I think we have a warrant for you." And he asks Abath to step away from the desk. That single step is the entire heist, because on that desk sits the only alarm button that reaches the real police, and Abath has just walked away from it. By the guard's account, the man then says, "This is a robbery, gentlemen. Don't give us any problems, and you won't get hurt." They handcuff both guards, wrap their heads in duct tape, walk them to the basement, and chain them to the pipes. And now, the thieves have the run of one of the greatest art collections on Earth. What happens next, we know almost minute by minute, because the museum's motion detectors printed a time-stamped log of every step they took. 1:48 a.m., the Dutch room. They take the crown jewel, Rembrandt's Christ in the Storm on the Sea of Galilee, his only known seascape. They don't carefully remove it. They cut the canvas straight out of its frame with a blade. Beside it, they take a second Rembrandt and a tiny self-portrait. And then the most valuable thing in the room, Vermeer's The Concert. There are only about 34 Vermeers in the entire world. This is one of them. Today, some believe it is the single most valuable stolen object on the planet. Down the hall, they pry loose 5 works by Degas and a bronze eagle off the top of a Napoleonic flag. In another room, a small Manet. At 2:40 and again at 2:45, the side door opens. 2 trips to the car, and they are gone. 13 works, an estimated $500 million, the largest property theft in history. And in the basement, 2 guards stay chained in the dark until at 8:15 that morning. And this is where a robbery becomes a 36-year mystery, because almost nothing about it adds up. These were not master thieves. They hacked priceless canvases out of their frames like vandals. They grabbed a worthless bronze eagle, but couldn't unscrew the flag beneath it. They walked straight past Titian's The Rape of Europa, the single most valuable painting in the entire museum, and left it on the wall. And the strangest clue of all, in the room where the Manet vanished, the motion sensors recorded no thief's footsteps at all. So who takes a bronze eagle and leaves a Titian? Who lifts a painting from a room no one was ever recorded entering? Which raised the question investigators still can't shake. Was someone on the inside? For 36 years, every suspect has told a perfect story, and every single one falls apart. Start with the guard. Rick Abath, who was never charged and denied any involvement, buzzed them in. He'd opened that same side door earlier that night, and the sensors logged only his footsteps in the room where the Manet disappeared. Investigators have never explained those anomalies, but even the early ones doubted that 2 rookie guards were capable of this, and Abath denied any part in it to the end of his life. He died in 2024. So the trail turns to the mob. The New England art thief Miles Connor has claimed that his associate, a local figure named Bobby Donati, who was never charged and was never publicly named by the FBI, organized the heist to trade the paintings for a jailed friend's release. That claim was never proven. In 1991, Donati was murdered, in what authorities tied to a gang war, and whatever he knew died with him. The FBI's leading theory centers on a Dorchester auto body shop, run by a man named Carmelo Merlino, who was never charged in connection with the heist. Merlino bragged he could return the paintings for the reward. He never did, and he died in prison in 2005, serving time on an entirely unrelated case. Two men in his orbit, George Reisfelder and David Turner, were named by investigators as possible suspects, though neither was ever charged in this case. Relatives said a painting resembling the stolen Manet once hung in Reisfelder's home. And while the FBI has said it believes Turner may have been one of the thieves, Turner, who is alive today, released from prison in 2019 on an unrelated conviction, has always denied any part in this heist. Reisfelder died in 1991, never charged, and Turner has denied any involvement to this day. Then the trail moves to the paintings. A mobster's widow told the FBI that her husband, Robert Gorente, once had some of them and handed two off at a lunch in Maine. But it's a single, uncorroborated account. Gorente died in 2004, and the man she named, a Connecticut figure, Robert Gentile, flatly denied it. Gentile became the FBI's last living hope. Agents said that inside his home, they found a handwritten list of all 13 stolen works and an old asking price for each one. But they could never prove he had the art. He was never charged with the heist. Only unrelated crimes. He denied it until the end. And in 2021, he died too, and the last door closed. So here is where the case actually stands. In 1995, the clock ran out. The statute of limitations expired, meaning no one can ever be charged with the theft itself again. In 2013, the FBI announced it believed it knew who did it, with a high degree of confidence, and then it refused to name a single name. It said the thieves were dead, that the paintings had moved through the criminal underworld to Connecticut and to Philadelphia, where they were quietly offered for sale around the year 2002. And then the trail went cold. The FBI says it knows, and the paintings are still gone. Which brings us back to those empty frames. 36 years, not one of the 13 works recovered. A Vermeer, a Rembrandt, irreplaceable, and simply missing from the world. The reward now stands at $10 million. Immunity is on the table. No questions asked. All you have to do is bring them home. So this is the one thing all that money can't buy. An answer. $500 million in beauty walked out a side door one night, and the world's best investigators still cannot tell you where it went. If those paintings could talk, where do you think they are? Tell me in one comment. That is the case file, still open. Next on What Money Buys, the most beautiful cursed object on Earth, a deep blue diamond worth $250 million, and the trail of ruin, madness, and death that is said to have followed everyone who ever owned it.